Hello, welcome to Take Two Radio. This is Sabina. I'm going to host today, and our guest has not quite arrived just yet, so we're going to play Heaven and Hell Collide by Michael Lombardi, our previous guest.
Your voice is all I hear in a world that's full of noise. It took the two of us to create a very world that will destroy. Your voice is all I hear. This is the part we are standing on the edge of being something more. If you can stand, why you see what I see? You'll never doubt it again.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hi, Rhonda.
Yes.
Hi, it's Sabina. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. Sorry, I thought you had said it was 8 o'clock my time, so,
No. No, I'm sorry about that. All right, so I wanted to announce you real quick. This is Rhonda Medina. She is not just any impersonator, or as she calls it, a variety entertainer. She uses her talent as Mae West, Ethel Mertz, Lucy-Riccardo, Dolly Parton, Patsy Cline, Marilyn Monroe, and many other famous faces to bring laughter to those in real need of it. She performs at the Encore Day Stay for patients with Alzheimer's and Dementia. She also performs at other facilities on a weekly basis, both locally and nationally. Welcome, Rhonda, to Take Two Radio. How are you tonight?
well, I'm terrific. Thank you for that sweet introduction.
You're very welcome. Well, it's definitely true. Of course, seen firsthand what you can do. So,
Since you were just a little girl.
No, not me.
And a cute one, too.
Oh, thank you. Well, let's see. Let's get started. So, you got your start in performing at the tender age of 4. How were you able to start impersonating actors at such a young age?
You know, when I was very young, I don't know, it was like another life. I was this little prodigy child born to teenage parents, and they saw me at 2 years old memorizing complete dance routines off the Shirley Temple on the television set. And the funny thing is that when I was 1.5, my eyes crossed, so I had a patch over my right eye and these huge pink cat glasses on, and I had strawberry blonde hair and plaster white skin and freckles. So I didn't look like a performer. The only thing I had going for me is that my hair was the same color as Shirley Temple's. But my mom, she was adopted at birth, and she was extremely disabled when she was born. And so here was this little girl, her first child, that was dancing like nobody's business and flipping off the couch at literally at 2 years old. So she was elated and took every dollar she had and put me into dance classes. And I was fortunate enough to get connected to Bob Cole, who at that time would have been like the Cirque du Soleil coach of that time. And
wow.
I began at 4 years old performing in the Rose Bowl parade and performing for thousands of people, doing flips and twirling batons upside down and tap dancing and all these different things. So my mother said, well, she'd try it, and the next thing she knew, she spent, every day of her life sewing costumes and getting ready for the next show. So that was a very young, tender age, but the funny thing is that, now so many years later, it's almost come full circle again that I found myself with a heart for performing in nursing homes and rehabilitation centers during the afternoon. It's just something that touched my heart, and I've seen some amazing little miracles that have happened from it, and so it's become not only a joy because I love to entertain, but also it's become kind of like a ministry for me.
That's amazing. I love that story. I, of course, had no idea about that. But, my grandfather was actually diagnosed with Alzheimer's as well, and he passed away a couple years ago from that. My grandmother actually was his primary caretaker until he had a fall and she could no longer care for him because he was way taller and she's a tiny woman, So, he ended up going downhill very fast after that last fall. So it's definitely very close to my heart as well.
Every story in regards to dementia and Alzheimer's is individual, but the story that you just told is very, very common. And I know that story, and I've seen that many, many times. And if you don't know who to feel for the most, your grandpa or your grandma, and and that's there's so much about dementia, regardless of whether it is because of Alzheimer's or Parkinson's or trauma or heart attack, stroke. There's many things that fall under the dementia umbrella. Alzheimer's just happens to be a specific disease. But it really touches my heart, and it's very personal to me because my grandmother, who helped raise me, and my my great uncle, both passed away from early onset Alzheimer's. Their symptoms started at 55 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's super early for sure. I know. I can't quite remember, but I think my grandfather was probably in his 80s or maybe late 70s when it started. I've lost track of when it started, but yeah.
Well, we would call that cognitive dementia, which means it's basically just caused by old age. You know, it doesn't sound like he was he diagnosed specifically with Alzheimer's.
He was, yeah, and
he was okay.
Yeah, his sister was diagnosed with just dementia, but she also had a similar, memory loss and just repeated herself. So I don't know if you want to call it milder than his or not. It was sort of similar, but different for sure. So
right.
But she also
like I said, they have similarities, but it's always individual. The diseases of the brain are so specific to the person's personal experience, their character, their genetics, and their personal image of themselves.
Right. Wow, that's
interesting.
You sound like you know a lot more than I do about it.
I didn't intend specifically for my entertainment career to go this direction. I mean, there's two sides at this point in my life to my entertainment career. One is that, I do so much celebrity impersonation work as, what am I up to 10 different celebrities now. And,
wow.
This one-woman show that I'm doing now called Legendary Ladies. And on the other hand, there's the more ministry side of my work, which has kind of become my day job. And that is that the word has kind of got around after working with Encore that the miracles are kind of happening during my performance. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen with other entertainers, but right now for me, what I'm seeing, because I'm the only one that I know that's doing impersonation work in musical shows on a daily basis for Alzheimer's and dementia or memory care as a whole, is that people are literally going from advanced stages of not moving, not able to speak, kind of frozen in place or in time, to literally coming out of their shell to sit up and kiss me and take a picture with me. And caregivers and the nurses are like standing there with their jaw hanging open and in shock because this person has not responded for 6 months.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, so exactly. So it's because of that I went, oh my gosh, I need to keep doing this because you don't get very much money for it. And so I have to take a tremendous cut in pay to do it, but I have to charge enough to cover my expenses,
Right.
But every time I walk out, I go, I apologize. I go, Lord, I'm so sorry that I complained at all, because something miraculous just happened that the family members are there, and they're so blessed because they got to talk to Mom for another 30 minutes, and they hadn't talked to Mom in who knows how long, the real Mom. So that's when I knew, I said, okay, either it's the work or it's just that I'm being blessed to kind of continue doing this. Maybe Grandma's up there smiling on me, Maybe my uncle's up there. Who knows? I don't know. I don't have the answers. All I know is this all started a year ago, and I'm kind of made it my official daytime job beginning in September of 2013. And I'm going to keep doing it until, something takes me in a different direction. But, I'm always looking for new adventures. Like I mentioned, I'm doing this documentary now. It's a project that I've been discussing with this really wonderful producer. He's nobody big in the industry, but he has a personal experience with his father in dementia. And he and I worked on a couple of projects together. He shot a wonderful commercial for me for Encore, and he gets it. He absolutely gets it. And so we're working on a documentary right now, which we've loosely titled Beauty and the Beast. The beauty not being me, but the beauty being art, that music and live performance and comedy, this combination together is powerful, and it can literally pull these people that are lost in their states of dementia out for a half an hour, for 2 days, and blessings happen in that moment. Forgiveness can happen. Goodbye can happen. One of the hardest things about dementia is you don't get to say goodbye to the real person.
Right.
You don't get to say goodbye to the dad you knew, the mom that knew you and or who still knows you. And so there's just some beauty that's happening there. So sorry, don't mean to go so far down the rabbit trail there, but it's a big deal to me right now. It really is.
Well, it definitely sounds like a passion of yours, and I totally commend you for that. And I look forward to seeing more and hearing more about that as it unfolds too. So, and of course, I would definitely help promote whatever you might need me to.
Tomorrow I will be Marilyn. Tomorrow I will be Marilyn. And we're going to shoot at a memory care facility that has 3 different stages of dementia, from more of stage 4 and 5 all the way to the advanced stages of 6 and 7. And I have this terrible dilemma, Sabine. I have a terrible dilemma. I can't find my girdle. I'm in D2.
Well, you definitely need to do that then, huh?
I've got a big job tonight.
Yeah, you'll have to find that.
I know. I had to lighten it up there for a minute, Marilyn never wore a girdle, but, how many women out there have that body? Her body defied gravity. So being Marilyn is extraordinarily intimidating, and I take it very seriously.
Well, and so talking about your wonderful celebrity impersonator job that you do so well, I have not seen you in all these characters, but I have definitely seen you as one person, and I wanted to know what was it about being a celebrity impersonator that drew you to that line of work?
Oh, it was really, you can say it's an accident unless you're one of those people who don't really believe in accidents. But here's the story. I moved to Los Angeles, back to Los Angeles, I should say, in 1995. 1994, there was a Northridge earthquake, and so it prevented me from moving back. But I moved back in 1995, and I was doing theater productions. And between shows, I was looking for work, and there was an audition notice in the Drama Log, which doesn't exist anymore, but it was a big magazine for many, many, many years, trade magazine for finding jobs. And so it was an audition for Universal Studios for a Mae West impersonator. And I really didn't know much about Mae West, but I did happen to have a connection with a buddy in Florida, Universal Studios, so I called him up. And I said, hey, they're looking for a Mae West. And he said, oh, my God, you'd be a great Mae West. And I didn't know her very well, and I thought, isn't she just a fat madam in a brothel kind of personality? And I said that. And he said, no, she was a pioneer for women. She's powerful. She's funny. You could totally, I see it. And I said, well, I I was insulted. I thought I was a Marilyn Monroe. I thought I was an ingenue. So he convinced me to do it. The only problem is by the time I started to study the character and things, I was going to miss the audition. So I didn't quit. I literally put together a costume. I studied Mae West, and luckily I was in L.A. where you can actually get access to her, to some of the books written on her, and I was impressed. I was very impressed with Mae West and who she was as a woman coming into Broadway and then eventually to Hollywood. So I called Universal Studios, and I just left a message on a voicemail. I'm like, oh, hi, it's Mae West. I'm coming up to see you. Oh, sorry, I missed my audition. I can't wait to get up there. And then at the end of the voicemail, it said, if this is an emergency and you need to reach someone right away, please dial extension blah, blah, blah. And I went, okay. So I dialed extension blah, blah, blah. I left the same message again. I literally did this 13 times. They probably changed their policy after that. But anyway, someone finally, by the end of the day, called me back. It was Larry, I think his name was Larry Fonz, if Diane Vincent was here, she would remember that Larry. And he said, is this a joke? Is this Victoria? I said, no, this is not Victoria. Oh, I'm so glad you called me, big boy. And he said, okay, well, that's good enough. He goes, I thought you were Victoria. She's our number one Mae West. I know you missed the auditions, but come on in. So I come in, and they have me audition for the vice president of Universal Studios, who was known as this gal who was about 350 pounds. And her name was Mary, and she was like the toughest thing to come down the pike. So I come in, I'm all dressed up as Mae, and the first thing she says is, I thought you were dead. Wow. And, she really just tried to pull the rug right out from under me. And I said, I like a good man, but not too good, because, the good die young, and I hate a dead one, And so she laughed. Anyway, I got the job. It was a lot of work for such a ridiculous job at Universal Studios. I think it paid $135 a day or something like that, to work your ass off for, probably shouldn't say that, for 8 hours, 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off the whole day, it's like being on a treadmill. And but then what he didn't tell me was that it was a seasonal job. When September came, it was like, oh, sorry, you're out of a job. So Diane Vincent, who plays Lucille Ball, and you know her and you love her, she was one of the Lucys. And then Suzanne LaRouche was the lead Lucy. Diane was in second. So they were desperately looking for a Ricky. And Lucy Arnaz had sent a letter to Universal Studios and was pretty, she was perturbed that in the whole world, they couldn't find a decent Ricky in Los Angeles. So Universal was dedicated to finding one, could not find one. Audition, put them on tape. I mean, we're talking some serious qualifications here to get approved. Anyway, so finally one day I said, why don't you get an Ethel? And they said, hey, you want to be Ethel? And I said, no. No, I do not. I want to be Marilyn Monroe. What's wrong with you people? And so I said, okay, whatever. I like it. I like that I can, if I can't work today, I can find someone else to replace me. It was a great in between kind of job without having to wait tables. So I went in. They went into the old Universal Studio warehouse. They found an old wig. They found the vintage costumes. They brought them in. The makeup artist came in, worked on my face. When they got done, we sat back and looked in the mirror and went, oh, my God. There was Ethel staring us in the face, right? 3 days later, they approved me to be Ethel. They came out to the lot, and they brought me out of the dressing room, and they said, we have great news. I said, what's the news? They said, you're Ethel. I literally cried. I cried. I was so upset. I was like, I thought I was Marilyn Monroe, and I'm Ethel. It was just like that. She patted me on the back, and she said, no, it's not that, honey. It's just that there are no royalties preventing Ethel, so we can get you in the park literally tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So they didn't have to pay royalties for Ethel, for Vivian Vance. There was no estate. So there I was, And then I met my best friend in the whole wide world, which is Diane Vincent.
Mm-hmm.
I know she's not listening because she's just too doggone busy anyway. But literally, my Lucy became my best friend. She was my maid of honor at my wedding. And
Aww.
she's the only one who truly understands me. And I love her dearly until we go into rehearsal in Jamestown.
Uh-oh.
And then I want to basically punch her in the face because she becomes Lucy and I become Ethel and I'm second banana and I got to swallow my pride and, move on. So after Ethel, then, it kind of became a habit. It's like, okay, well, now there's Mae West, there's Ethel. Then, of course, it had to be Marilyn because I had to prove to myself and everybody that I could be Marilyn. And it just grew. Then it, yeah. And then I got to Texas, and I, kind of gave up Hollywood because I had an older son, and he was struggling with, let's just say, California schools. So I brought him home to Texas to save him from California, and gave up entertainment and found, the love of my life. And then all the agents from L.A. told the agents in Dallas I was here, and the next thing you know, here we go again. So now I'm literally working more as a variety entertainer and celebrity impersonator and vocalist in Texas than I ever did in L.A. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's
a great story.
Is it? I don't know.
Yes. Well, I was going to ask you how you got started with the Lucy Desi festivals in Jamestown, since that's where I met you and saw you for the first time. So you've told us that information already, and it's a very, very great story. And I could tell even then that you and Diane were really good friends, not just portraying Lucy and Ethel, but, aside
there
from
wasn't
that,
another Ethel. There was no other Ethel.
Right.
There was Roberta Wall, who was a wonderful musical stage actress, and she kind of, went ahead and signed up to be, the second Ethel. But really, nobody, this is a terrible, I love you, Vivian, but even Vivian knows too, nobody wants to be Ethel, okay? Nobody wants to be Ethel. And once you've had to be in rehearsals and work with a Lucy for a while, you will realize why. Because you have to be in the absolute shadow of somebody else's greatness, and then you take you get all the bruises. I mean, trying to pull Lucy out of all the stunts that she gets in, I'm the one with all the bruises. I'm the one with the sprained ankle,
Well, then I must ask you this then. What is it you get from the fans when doing those festivals, though? Because I'm sure you get something remarkable
sympathy
from those fans.
There are some, there's Ethel's fans out there. It's funny. I'll have husbands, there's a couple take a picture, and then the husband will lean over and whisper in my ear, I always liked Ethel,
That's awesome.
It's adorable. The truth is that it doesn't matter whether you're Ethel or whether people liked Ethel or not, because it's not about Ethel, or it's not about Fred, it's not about Ricky. The truth is, it's about Lucy. It's about the I Love Lucy show. It's not even about Lucy, forgive me, Lucy Arnett. It's not even about Lucille Ball after I Love Lucy, because it's the I Love Lucy show. There was something powerful, passionately real, loving, perfect about that program that people want it to be real. There's an essence of it that you want to be real even though it's not, and it's absolutely hilarious. But there's truth in it. There's a truth in it of what we idealize of the perfect friendship, of the perfect marriage, and of our perfect friends who are our neighbors, that we stick together no matter what. We're human. We're extraordinarily fallible, but in the end, we love each other, and we laugh, and we make a fool of ourselves, and we're perfectly imperfect. And that is the beauty of that show. And of all the characters, and this would be the same, Vivian would have to say this, she would have to admit this, which is why she continued to do it, is no matter what else I have done, there is no more press that will ever be given attention to than the time that the work that I have spent as Ethel working in conjunction with the I Love Lucy show. Because the fan base is so powerful, and still the original cast, the original production team, they all are still connected to it. So it's a powerful experience of love and faithfulness and friendship. So there's so much to receive from it, and that I continue to receive from it, just as I'm receiving from you inviting me to this program today.
Yeah, I love everything about that, and I was so glad I was able to go to some of those festivals. I still want to go back, of course, but haven't had a chance to.
I know, I could just always, rely that you were going to be there and have great pictures and have that photo album. And you took great pictures, by the way. I still have so many of them, and they're precious.
I'm so glad I was able to get that to you, even though it took a while.
Do you know that when I post your pictures on Facebook, I get more response to your pictures than anything else?
Aw, thank you.
That's
that's wonderful.
Yeah, I had like 47 responses to one of your pictures. Did you know that silly clip of Diane and I on the street when she and I were both so exhausted we were just trying to get to our apartment has over 200,000 views now on YouTube. Yeah. People that thought we did a good job or a bad job, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, man, that's some fun stuff, and I really want to get back there and one day sometime. But I guess we've already covered who your favorite celebrity to impersonate is. Would you say it is Marilyn Monroe?
No. If you asked me that, if you'd asked me that 6 or 7 years ago, I would absolutely. But now my favorite celebrity to impersonate is Dolly Parton.
Oh, wow, awesome.
Yeah. I have really, when I first started out, I was very shy musically. As a matter of fact, I was terrified to sing as myself, so I only sang when I was hiding behind a character. But now since I've moved to Dallas, the request for my work musically has been much higher, and so I enjoy that much more. Dolly is my current favorite celebrity to impersonate because she's got the comedy. She's an absolute character. Everybody loves her. I mean, tall, small, local, domestic, foreign, it does not matter. Everybody, and it doesn't, Dolly is the only character that I am always shocked that I get invited to perform at churches. With my boobs hiked up to my chin.
That's awesome.
It's hilarious. They love her because it doesn't matter, they know that she loves the Lord. They know that, she publicly, claims her love for God. And it doesn't matter that, your eyes can't go anywhere else but, oh my God, look at her boobs, And I was like, are you sure you want Dolly? Oh yeah, we love Dolly. Okay. Here I come. And I had the best time, and I sing her music really well, and I just enjoy the heck out of her. She's a ball of fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, have you ever gotten to meet her?
I am scheduled to go to her concert and hopefully meet her. My girlfriend Connie says we are getting in there to meet her on May 31st. She's going to be over here at the WinStar Casino, so.
Oh, awesome.
I've never, I know you love concerts and you go to concerts. I really have been to very few concerts in my life. I have my grandmother's ears. I really have very sensitive ears, and I suffer from whatever. Some people call it tinnitus, some people call it tinnitus. But I have a constant roaring in my ears. And so concerts, you know, it's like death to my eardrums. So I really avoid them because it's painful. But I will suffer for Dolly.
Right. Well, you can always wear earplugs and you can still hear, because when it's that loud, you can wear the earplugs. It'll help tone it down, the volume, and you can still hear them singing. So you can try that.
I will do that. I will buy some earplugs promptly the week before I go see Dolly.
And not to say you're trying to drown her out, because you're going to hear her plenty. Trust me. Yeah,
I mean, I have I have sensitive senses. You know, I have very sensitive ears, sensitive smell. You know, it's just that it's not that I can't hear. It's just that I have to hear over another sound. You know. So sometimes when you have two sounds going on in your head, it's not so fun. I can remember my grandmother, the same thing, going, turn that music down, you know, and it wasn't even up. Hearing the roaring in her ears was just so loud, and then the music on top of it was just too much for her. So much fun.
So tell me, how do you get into character for all these different celebrities that you impersonate?
Well, you know, Sabine, that's a great question. First of all, it has a lot to do with how long I've been doing the character. So for Mae West, who was the first, I don't even think about it. You know, I mean, come on. Years and years in that park, 7-8 hours a day. I mean, for a while there, I lost my own smile, you know, because I've been smiling like her for 7 hours a day for cameras. So I don't think about it. So I don't think about it for her. I don't think about it for Ethel. I really don't. I don't think about performing as Ethel until I am literally in rehearsal, because there's only two people who tear up my voice, and that is Ethel and Lucy, because they both, Well, Ethel has a real lower registry. She has she works from her, you know, oh, Lucy, oh, for heaven's sakes. You know, it's really low. It just pushes that thing, you know, so it's all this pushing, you know. And then Lucy is, you know, everything is so, it's loud. It's just this push loud. No wonder, you know, between the cigarettes and all the pushing of her vocals, no wonder she had this gravelly voice, you know, toward the last 15 years of her life. However, with new characters, like, for example, Judy Garland, musically, it's different. For me, it's kind of strange. The process of studying a new character versus the process of just getting ready for a show is very different. So I'll just say from getting ready for a show. So tomorrow I'm going to do Marilyn, and I'm going to be on film. Normally with Marilyn, I wouldn't even worry about a thing. I'd have a drink. Okay, I'm a Christian. I'm going to have a drink. You know, and just to loosen up for a minute and not worry about anything. And then I'll get in front of the mirror with my, you know, with my gefilte fish face and, you know, paint the canvas white and start from there. You know, I mean, my face is a canvas. That's the way I have to look at it. It's a canvas, and it's all about what I'm going to create on that canvas. Now, once I create the canvas, I create the picture of how they painted their face. From there, I work on my body language. So I'll relax my shoulders with Marilyn. I'll push my chest out a little bit more. I'll tuck my tummy. I'll soften my eyes, and I'll allow myself to just feel silly for a moment. So I don't play a sultry, sexy Marilyn. I play a silly, loving, vulnerable Marilyn. So I play I play the comedian that you see in the film. Okay, so she's silly and sultry and vulnerable and funny. Then I put on the hair, and then the final thing is the gown. And with Judy is, for me, completely different. Judy, I don't get into character. I don't get into anything until I'm completely dressed as Judy, because Judy, there's nothing relaxed about Judy Garland. She is so tense, so tense, physically tense, so emotionally intense that I have to play her music, her singing, as loud as possible to let her passion and desperation penetrate me physically and emotionally and mentally. When I feel that, then I'm finally ready to perform as Judy. So Judy takes a lot out of me because that woman gave every ounce of her soul on that stage, and nothing about it was pretentious. She literally poured herself out on the stage, no matter what it looked like, and she was terrified to go on the stage. Then when she was on the stage, she gave everything she had, and when she got off the stage, she fell apart. So that's a hard character to play, and I've only been doing it now for a year, but I fell in love with her accidentally watching A Star Is Born, and her music haunts me. Literally, for example, last night, I woke up, I spent the last 2 hours of my morning with her music just haunting me over and over again. And so sometimes I just kind of, I take that as instinct that it's time to work more on Judy. So probably TMI, too much information.
No, it's very interesting, though.
You know, listen, I'm a good daughter. I'm a mother to a 4-year-old and a 27-year-old, and I'm a good wife, and I make dinner 5 nights a week. So I find time in between to be, you know, Marilyn, Judy, Liza Minnelli, Marilyn Monroe, Ethel Mertz, Lucille Ball, Mae West, and God knows whoever else comes down the pike, Dolly Parton, you know.
That brings me to that next question. I'm curious who you would love to do an impersonation of that you have not quite done yet.
Bette Midler.
Oh, I'd love to see that. I love her. That'd be
awesome. And I totally can do the look. I can absolutely do the look. I have no doubt about it. Matter of fact, people have mentioned it to me many times in my life, but I have not yet. I mean, I love her songs, I love her music, but I haven't fallen in love with her yet. So to backtrack, I guess the first thing for me in this, in being an impressionist, is I have to fall in love with the woman. And I like Bette a lot. I like her a lot, but I haven't fallen in love with her yet. So when I fall in love with her, and I don't know when that'll happen or why, then I will pursue the money that it costs to buy her wigs, to put together her costume, to invest in the music. Every character is an investment. When my agent asked me in November of 2004 if I could do Dolly Parton, I said no. She said, why not? I said, because I can't do that music. There's no way. I cannot do that voice. And she said, I think you can. I was like, thank you very much. She said, all I'm asking is how long would it take you? And I said, is there any money in it? And she said, yes, there is. The other Dolly Parton has left town and gone to Vegas, and I need a Dolly Parton, and I think you're it. And I said, it'll take me at least 6 months. And she said, okay. And she booked me a job 6 months out, leaving me no choice but to pull it together. And you know what? Dolly Parton is my #1 show here in Texas. So she was right. That was a long time ago, but she was right.
Yeah, she was.
So, yeah, I give it, you know, it takes me 6 months to truly become and do honor, justice to the artist. You know, this is no Halloween contest, you know.
Right. No, you are amazing.
I have to honor them. I have to. It has to, because the fans demand it. You know, you don't want to let them down because they're not there to judge you. They're there to re-experience somebody that they love.
Right.
You know, and you want to be a part of that experience with them.
Yeah, I did hear the clips on your website, and I can't get over how amazingly, like, spot on you were with all of them that I heard. You know, Dolly Parton, that was just, I was in awe, seriously.
You know,
definitely.
The thing with Dolly is that I trained myself to sing as Dolly before I trained myself to actually talk as Dolly. So I was totally ready to go out. And sing as Dolly, which I thought was an amazing feat. But I was really terrified to talk as Dolly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Patsy, I did for my mother, because my mom was a huge Patsy fan, and she was adopted at birth, and she never knew her real mom. But the only thing she knew was that her mother was a singer. And so when she was singing, people used to say to her, "You sound just like Patsy Cline," or they would say to her, "You look just like Patsy Cline." And so I remember growing up that she was infatuated with Patsy Cline. So when I decided to really get serious about recording as Patsy, I took her with me to the recording studio, and I had her sit down there. And you know what? She, you know, my mom struggles with mental illness, and, you know, I talk about that up front because there's so much of it, you know, dementia and mental illness and every other form of it. And sometimes she has to be on so much medication. Sometimes it's like, I've had to learn to become used to the mother that I have now, not the mother that I knew. You know, the medicated mom, not the other mom. You know, the other mom was sick, but boy, was she a lot of fun. This mom, she's well, but she's just not any fun. You know, so I took her with me to the studio, and she didn't think she could help me. You know, but then as she heard me singing and she started listening, I saw her eyes start to sparkle again. And she started to give me it started to come back to her. And when we got out of the car, I remember she said something that I think maybe a producer had said to her when she was, her claim that her big moment was she opened for Sammy Davis Jr. in 1972 at Caesar's Palace. That was her big moment. But when we got out of the car, she said, "Let's go make some music, baby." I'd never heard those words come out of my mother, but I heard the mom that I remembered from 20 years ago in that moment.
Aww.
And I knew then. That was the first moment that I was reminded that music is an art and live performance. It's a gift of art, and art is this powerful agent of love that makes us want to be better than who we are, all of us, you know. And I saw my mom come to life. I saw an old sparkle. I saw that little feisty girl for just a second I hadn't seen in 20 years, and she gave me some good notes, and we had a great recording session. And the music that you hear on my audio clip is from that session. So
that was it was amazing, and I love Patsy Cline too. So kudos to you. It's just fantastic.
You know, I was at a point in my life I said, if I can do Patsy, then I can do anything. And I needed that. She was my hurdle. I needed to get over that hurdle. And I knew, you know, Patsy is the female standard of country music that every country music star has to put herself up against and say, you know, she's the voice. There's no acting, there's no character, there's none of that. As a matter of fact, you can barely even find even an actual recording of Patsy talking in person. But her voice, if you can do the voice, and I said, if I can do Patsy, I can do anything. And so that was kind of my hurdle from just singing only hiding behind celebrity impersonators and their style to beginning at that point to start doing musical programs of my own. And I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too. I've got to ask you, do you sometimes wake up and forget who you are?
Oh, you know, let me tell you something. That only happens when I get way too busy. I did 27 Dolly Parton shows, just Dolly Parton alone.
Wow.
In December of 2013. And then, I had some Marilyn's and Lucy and other things sprinkled in, here and there. But my Dolly Parton Christmas show is a ball. It's a great time. Because Dolly is known for her Christmas shows and her Christmas music, and it's all dressed in red and rhinestones. It's fabulous. So, yeah, that I did get lost a couple of times. It really did happen. I woke up and went, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. And if the person hadn't called me to confirm and say, okay, yeah, we're gonna see Judy here today at 3:00, I'm like, whoa, I thought I was gonna be Mae. Woo, that would not have been good. Yeah, it has. Yeah, it's only happened a couple of times. I think it's happened maybe like 3 times a year. But yeah, it has happened.
Okay, I totally need to come out and see one of these shows or all these shows. I wish I still lived in Plano because I used to live there.
That's why I started doing the Legendary Lady show because people are like, well, is there a show where you do all of them? And I'm like, that's like trying to lose 12 pounds in an hour and a half. It's sick. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. So I did it. And yeah, to do this as like an ongoing thing where I do, like maybe a week out of a month here or there in different cities, I have got to have a wonderful, dedicated, behind-the-scenes person to help me with costumes, makeup, and all this stuff. Because organizing the makeup, the hair, and the costumes for 10 different characters.
Yeah, I know.
Something gets lost. Something gets lost. But if all else fails, then what I'll do is I do a show sometimes that is like a snippet of that, where I still do all 10, but I don't change makeup and I don't change complete costume. I wear a black velvet dress. I have my hair, and I just change props, boas, stoles, jewelry, hats, and whatnot, and of course character and voices. Mm-hmm. And people seem to enjoy that, and they have a good time with that.
Yeah, that sounds like so much fun. I definitely want to check that out sometime. So when was it? Because I believe you did Ethel before Lucy, but correct me if I'm wrong. But I was wondering, when did you decide to start portraying Lucy, and what is your favorite part about portraying her? Because when I saw you as Ethel, I didn't realize you did. Well, I didn't realize you did half the things that I learned, but so.
Well, I'll tell you, as far as Lucy goes, I only perform Lucy in regards to senior living. And, people tell me I'm a great Lucy. They laugh until they cry, blah, 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 encouraging kind of things that tell me to continue. Right. But I've worked with some great Lucys. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I work with Suzanne LaRouche. Now, working with Suzanne and Diane, it's like working with 2 completely different sides of Lucy. One is the one that everything has to be, mastered, perfect, and it's not fun. It's comedy. It's not fun, and it's not, period. Everybody else laughs, but you don't laugh until it's over, And then the other one, she's just a good time all the time. She's the clown side of Lucy. She's the playful side of Lucy. She's the audience engagement, and people love her as much as they love Lucy, or maybe that's a stretch. But, they love her too. And so the Lucy that I play, I do strictly for senior living, and I started doing because an entertainer was not able to make an appearance at Encore when I was marketing director. And so I said, well, listen, why don't you let me, I'll perform. And it was important. It was important not only for the guests, because we had, built up that there was going to be a big entertainment, but it was also important for our attendance numbers, because we were trying to keep daycare for Alzheimer's alive, and it's a very expensive business, and it doesn't make money, but it's important to the caregivers. They need it. So my job as marketing director was to make this thing work. So as an entertainer, I said, okay, we're going to marry the two right now, baby. And so, and I had a Lucy costume made a long time ago because of a friend of my mother's who happened to be a costume maker, and she made me a Marilyn Monroe dress. So I said, hey, make all these for me. So she made me these great costumes. So I had it. Mm-hmm. So I went, and I actually had an old Lucy wig from Universal Studios, and I, put it on, and I came in, and I did a show that was specific for senior living. And that day, the press came. The newspaper came. Happened to be a friend of the owner, and he was the owner of the newspaper. And he came to do a story on Encore. And so I did this whole show as Lucy, and then the next day the newspaper came out, and it was all about me as Lucy. And the title of it was, I Love Rhonda. And I thought, I'm going to be fired. I'm going to be fired. This is supposed to be a story about the facility, and it's a story about me, So the truth is, the opposite happened. Because it was about Lucy, our phone would not stop ringing. Forget about that. The performance itself, amazing things happened. This gal, she had early onset. Her symptoms started at 52 years old. She was like, you lived in Plano, she was like the socialite of Plano. Beautiful, part of all these charities. Everybody knew her family, knew her husband. And all of a sudden, like overnight, Alzheimer's hit her. And so now I've met her at 54 years old. And even in 6 months of knowing her, I've seen her rapid decline to the point where she can't remember anything. She barely remembers her daughter. Her daughter's pregnant. She's about to have a baby, and she has trouble remembering her daughter. And we're all so worried that she won't be able to realize that when the grandbaby is born, that's her first grandbaby. Because we love her, and we know what a mentor she's been to so many people. So here I am. They're announcing that Lucy is coming. I brought in all my hats, all my scarves, all these things to dress everybody up in 50s attire to join in with Lucy. And I'm going to do the Lucy gossip scene. The Lucy gossip scene where Lucy's not supposed to gossip, and she has this juicy gossip about the milkman. Okay? Mm-hmm. And so what happens is that she says, I want to play. I said, okay. And they're like, well, she's not going to remember. I said, nope, it doesn't matter. So I give her all the lines to feed me. I give her Ethel's lines to feed me. She remembered them all.
Wow.
It's like it just doesn't happen. It's not possible for her to have remembered these lines when she only was given the script 30 minutes ago.
Wow, that is amazing.
She initiated. It was, people, her husband was there, of course, all the caregivers and people known her for years. People were shocked. But it happened because she loved Lucy. She wanted to be a part of the show. And so her love and her passion for this moment to be relived overrode her disease.
That's huge.
And I was so blown away by that. And then after that, it was like the phone would not stop ringing. Everybody wanted me to come over and do I Love Lucy for who knows what, Teachers Association, all these other things. And the next thing I knew, this one little moment turned into this avalanche of requests for me as Lucy here in Dallas. And that's how it started.
I bet everyone was in tears.
Well, they just couldn't believe it. That really, it was a literal miracle that happened there. And I know that wouldn't surprise Lucy Arnaz because, there are so many people that come to the I Love Lucy Festival. Like there's these great gals from Denver and Ohio that are all breast cancer survivors, and they attribute watching I Love Lucy to their ability to heal and survive breast cancer. And we see them every year, and we love them. And I'm still wanting to get approved to be Lucy. I haven't pursued it, but I need to pursue it now because more request and public attention is kind of coming to me for Lucy. Mm-hmm. Even though I don't pursue Lucy, it's like it pursues me. It's very strange. So I have to see it as a calling, and I'm afraid to ask her though. I am, because she's tough. She's tough, She's very protective of her mother and her mother's image,
Right.
So anyway. And I'm not really looking to pursue it as anything more than what I'm doing with it already. I'm not trying to take it to on a national level or anything like that. But But anyway, who knows?
Well, no,
we'll see what happens.
I truly believe, I believe that Lucy would agree for just what you're doing with it. I think that she would think it's amazing and marvelous. I really do. I did get to meet her a couple of times when I was up there, and for me, that was the best thing ever because I always wanted to meet Lucille Ball. Never was able to. I was too young when she passed away for that to have ever come to fruition. So to have met her daughter, and her daughter's just as amazing as her parents, and it was a dream come true for me. So it was definitely those events meant a lot to me. Still do mean a lot to me, and I do plan on getting back to them when I can. I honestly do want to.
Well, I will love to see you, girl.
I'd love to see you again. Well, aside from all this, the impersonating stuff, I know you wanted to become a soap opera actress at one time.
Oh,
do you ever see yourself pursuing that
Where
again?
did you read that? I thought I wiped out all that information. Yes, when I was young and dumb, I thought, well, because I'll tell you why I thought of soap opera. Because first of all, I wanted to be an actress, and my coach came from soap opera background, and my son was about 3 years old then, and so I wanted like a regular job where I could be an actress, and I thought, well, soaps are perfect, and he thought, I could really do it. So that's kind of where that idea came from.
Oh, I'm just curious because I have a favorite soap opera that it would be so fun to see you on, but I'm just curious.
Well, once you're past 40, pretty much you better have been on soaps since your mid-20s. Otherwise, you're never going to get on there.
You
the
never
only people that are
know.
on there after turning 40 are the ones that have been on there since 1970.
Yeah, well, you truly never know, but I can understand that. And but is there anything else that you'd love to do that you have not done yet?
Yeah, I really would love to take my one-woman show, Legendary Ladies on the Road. The show isn't just, focused on doing the different celebrity impressions. It's really about beauty. It's about this struggle that every girl that becomes a woman has to deal with. And I use the characters that I impersonate to show examples of how beauty was simply a tool to get them in the door. This is an odd comparison, but like Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger using bodybuilding and, being a He-Man to break into show business. They were very talented on their own accord, but they knew that was going to be the ticket, And for a woman, that's not a passing phase. That is what it is when it comes to film. When it comes to film, it's all about being a beauty queen. When it comes to being a model, it's all about being perfect. And there's a point as a young girl that you make a decision about what kind of image that you want, and a lot of times you choose who that image is going to be. You choose one that is current. Maybe you choose Taylor Swift. Maybe you choose Marilyn Monroe like I did, and you identify with them for a particular reason. I identified with Marilyn because my mom suffered from mental illness. Her mom suffered from mental illness. Norma Jean looked like a normal girl until she changed herself into the platinum blonde Marilyn Monroe, and she gave me hope. She gave me hope that I could be more than what people judged me to be because I was a girl and maybe I wasn't perfect. And in my family, they were kind of old-fashioned. Girls didn't go to college. You were either pretty, and you had opportunities, or you weren't pretty, and well, let's just focus on your sister. And so it was kind of backwards a little bit. But girls do make choices in their life. Whether they were born pretty, and then they become obsessed with that, and then it becomes a burden at some point in your life. Beauty becomes a burden because there's this thing called maintenance. You've built it all up. Everybody expects you to be such and such, but now time has taken its toll. Or maybe you've just decided, maybe you've just grown up and you've said, there's more to life than this, and but now you can't allow yourself to leave the house to even go to the grocery store without putting your makeup on, And I kind of talk about that in a humorous way about, is it the beauty or has it become the beast in your life? And the celebrity that I close with is Cyndi Lauper, who sings True Colors, because in the end, the truth is that who you are is always beautiful, and we need to be encouraged more as women to find the beauty of who we are on the outside and the inside by making it whatever it is that our spirit is telling us to be, and don't worry about whatever your parents said it might have been, or whatever somebody might have told you that they think you are or you are not. If you have a dream, if you have a passion, if you have an instinct and you've been suppressing it, don't suppress it anymore. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what people say. Try it. Be it. Because you're going to get more joy from that than you will from anything else you've ever done in your life. By finding out who you really are. Who are you? I've had to find who I am through multi-dimensions and through trying to prove I could be pretty through multi-faces of celebrities. And I've proved it. I've proved I can do it. But now they're still my friends. All these celebrities that I impersonate, they're my friends because I get to peel the layers of myself. I say, well, I can do that. Let's try it. Hey, I can do that. That's pretty cool. I wonder what else I can do. So I'm inspired to continue to try, to have fun with it, but not to take it too seriously and to not to think that that's who I am, but that who I am is a chameleon, and I can be many things all at once. I'm a rainbow, and I'm okay with that. As a matter of fact, I really like that about me.
Oh, I love that story, and that is, you are amazing. I'm learning more and more about you.
We'll title it Ethel and the Rainbow.
Okay, so on that note, what is your hidden talent?
Gee whiz. How long is this show? What is my hidden talent? Okay, well, this has nothing. Does it have to be about entertainment?
No, it's just
No?
it's a hidden talent. Nobody knows about it.
My hidden talent is that I'm a fabulous mother. I love my children, and my little 4-year-old, my doll, has just walked in the room with his little blue blanket. Hi, John.
Aww.
You know, I have to tell you, I'm going to post this on Facebook tomorrow. My little boy I've let him come with me to a few of the senior living facilities, you know, the really good ones where the caregivers are really positive and the environment is very, you know, homey. I don't want anything that's going to traumatize him.
Right.
His favorite show is Lucy. So last night he gets on the bed and he goes, Mama, I'm going to do the Lucy show. I said, you are? He said, yeah. And you know what he did? Vitamin, girl.
Oh, I love that.
He did. Vitamin right there on the bed. I had no idea that he had memorized it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I was so thrilled. Anyway, I have two. Yeah, this is amazing that I have a 4-year-old and a 27-year-old. But I'm a young mom. You know, I was a very young mom. Much like my mother, I was a very young mom. And of course, you know, a new marriage. We've been married. We've just celebrated our 7th anniversary, and he has, he has 3 grown children, and so together, you know, we have 5 children and 1 from our marriage, which is John. And this is just our little miracle baby, and he is so gorgeous and so much fun, and I love being a mother. You know, I was hard on my first son because I was in Los Angeles, and I don't know if you know this about me. I was a commercial talent agent for 4 years for the Bobby Ball agency, commercial talent agency in Los Angeles.
Oh.
And yeah, and my son at that time was 13 and gorgeous. And every time I went, you know, I went around, people always wanted to put him in a commercial. They wanted to put him in such and such, but he was too shy. And then when we left, I said, I'm telling you right now, boy, if you decide to become an actor at 26 years old after leaving Los Angeles, I will kill you. I will kill you. And sure enough, 2 years ago, he decided to take it seriously. And, you know, and you saw his pictures. He's gorgeous. You know, he looks like the most beautiful Jesus Christ that you could cast, you know. And seriously, you know, and John is just as gorgeous, you know, just beautiful, beautiful boys. And, of course, he's pursuing acting. And then John, now that he's been going with me to, you know, watch me perform, he's going to have his own show, you know.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So
it's, you know, it's just this wonderful evolution. Of course, I'm not going to kill my older son now because I see how hard that he's trying, and I see his frustrations. And you know, as a parent, you were kind of, if they start following the same career that you were in, especially entertainment, you know, performing, you really empathize. You know, part of you says, "Oh, baby, I know just how you feel. You know, go ahead, struggle, do it." The other party goes, "I told you so." Yeah, so that's my hidden talent is I love my children. I love being a mom, and that's makes me a well-rounded entertainer. You know, brings your heart to the work.
Yeah, that's actually a very wonderful talent.
And you won't believe it, but he looks just like a little Ricky. He does.
Oh, no.
He looks like a little Ricky.
Oh, he's so cute. I did see a couple of pictures of him. He's a cutie for sure.
His drum set's in the garage, by God, I'll tell you.
Oh, watch out. It's been wonderful talking with you. I have one more quick question, and then we're going to go ahead and close up. You are an amazing talent. I did want to say one quick note from Pam, the host. She's regretfully not here because she's not well.
You're breaking up, Sabine. You're breaking up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello? I was saying that.
Oh, there you are.
Yes, I'm here. I was saying that Pam is regretfully not here with us. She is with us in spirit, but she's not able to interview me because she is not feeling well today. So she wanted to say hi to you through me and say she is sorry she missed interviewing with me. So that is for the lovely host of the show. You're still hearing me okay? Rhonda?
Yeah, you just broke up so much that how come she wasn't able to be
she is ill. She is not feeling well today.
Oh, she's ill.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm very sorry to hear that. It's no fun being sick, and it really messes things up. But sometimes it can serve a good purpose because, sometimes when you're forced to do nothing but lay down and stay down, that's when you learn that it's okay to relax.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. She'll love hearing that from you.
I know.
She is listening too. She's enjoying the show just as much as I have. I've really enjoyed chatting with you. So I'm going to close for now. And it was wonderful talking with you. And I look forward to seeing what else you have coming along the pipe.
All right, Sabine. Thank you so much for inviting me to the program. It's been a blast. I hope I won't regret anything that I've said after I hung up. And I'll keep in touch with you on Facebook, okay, honey? Stay sweet.
Okay.
And be yourself no matter what, okay?
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Okay. Lots of love to you. Bye-bye.
To you, too. Bye. Thanks for listening, and be sure to watch take2radio.com for upcoming guests. Also follow on Twitter at Take2Radio, that's the number 2, and at Take2Radio Crew. Thank you again. Good night.